Hello to all of my fellow runners or my fellow wannabe runners. Come run 5 miles with me and my dog today. As you could tell from my thumbnail, we are talking all about training plans, why I feel like training plans are uber important. Pretty much 2 miles in, and I've been spending this whole time trying to find an opportunity to chat with you guys. But the traffic is really busy, and Taya is being incredibly jumpy, which has been making it hard for me to record because I'm afraid I'm gonna trip over her, twist my ankle again, which happened last year. But she's being incredibly jumpy. We'll just be running and then she'll like freak out for no reason. And then it freaks me out. So now I'm not even listening to music or books or anything. I'm just focusing on her so I don't freak out. There's two kind of people that I seem to notice the most when they're talking about training plans and why they can't do them. First group is the I'm too busy group. My life's chaotic. It's from one moment to the next. I don't have time for a training plan. I'm too busy for a training plan. My answer to that is, if your life is in utter chaos, then why would you think something structured wouldn't work? Second thing is, I tried a training plan and I got hurt, so I quit. Okay, I get it. However, that training plans are universal, that you can change them. For those of you who've been following my channel for a long time, you will have known when I first started running, how many times did I change a training plan because it wasn't working. When I started training for this marathon, I realized I was not going to be able to run 4 days a week. It wasn't going to happen. So what did I do? In the middle of my training, I cut out that training plan and found a different one. And 90% of the training plans have you doing your long runs on a Sunday. I can't do my long runs on a Sunday. It has to be a Saturday. So I found a training plan I liked, and I modified. Here's the thing about training plans. They are not set in stone. They're meant to be guides to help you get to your goal, but they are not set in stone. It's not the end of the world if you can't stick to it exactly. If you have to change things, it's okay. Just climbed the steepest hill with the worst leg cramp I think I've ever had since I started running. Oh man, the back of my thigh muscle is just knotted and it hurts so bad, but I'm proud of myself because I climbed that massive hill all the while I was in pain, but I didn't give in, I didn't give up. I got it done. I only got under a mile left. I think I've got like 0.7 of a mile left, and then this 5 miles is done. Quiet place to talk. We'll get back to talking about training plans. I think a training plan is important because without some kind of a guideline, it gives you excuses. If you don't pick a distance, if you don't pick a day, if you don't pick a time, then it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in your head. It doesn't exist in your heart. You'll go out there and you'll run, and yeah, you may feel good, but I guarantee you at the end of the day, whether you want to admit it or not, especially if you're training for a marathon, you're going, I didn't go far enough. I didn't do enough. And me, even with a training plan, I'm stressing out about being ready for my marathon. It's in 14 weeks. 14 weeks. And I'm only at half marathon distance. I'm only halfway there. If I didn't have a training plan that I knew would get me there in time, I would be panicking, you guys. Majorly, and I would probably get to the point where I want to give up and just say, I can't do it. But because I have this training plan, because I know it works, because I've been doing it for a couple of weeks now, I know I'll get there. My training plan shows me getting there. finished my 5-mile run. I started walking right at 5 miles, but I left my timer going because just as I was getting ready to show you guys my distance, my husband had called, give me because he's at work, but he wanted to give me an "atta girl, you've got this" chat. And so I chatted with him for the last half mile of my run, and then a little bit into the walk. We were working through my leg muscle hurting. It's just really, really tight. But I digress. We're talking about training plans. Now, I want to say at this point that I'm not an expert. I am not a professional. I am not a trainer. I'm not anything. I haven't even run a full marathon yet, you guys. I'm training for my very first marathon. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. By no means am I saying that you have to do anything. In my personal opinion, I feel like it's necessary, especially for people like me who need the structure. I need to have a plan. If I don't have a plan, I give myself excuses. I have accepted that about myself. I have to have a plan. I can't just go into a week without knowing what I need to do. And sometimes, life happens. You'll be out on a run and you have to run 4 miles, but 2 miles in, you get called in for some reason. So you don't get to finish your 2 miles. That's not a huge deal. You can, if you say you have 5 miles to run, tomorrow. So instead of running 5 miles, run 7 to make up for that other 2. Or honestly, if you absolutely can't do the 7 miles, then don't even sweat it. Say that, and you know that you can literally only run 1 day for that whole week. Then I suggest you prioritize your long run. Focus on doing your long run and don't worry about doing the little runs. Because sometimes life happens, you can't help that. And that's not the training plan's fault. And again, training plans can be modified. Like people try one training plan and then they go, well, no, I can't do that. That hurts. Training plan's bad. No, they're not bad. And even if you have looked at 40 billion training plans and you liked none of them, what I would do is I would find a training plan that got the closest to what you're looking for. Just as close as it could get. And then modify it. Things can change. Maybe right now your life is busier than it normally is. For me, I know that I'm gonna have more time and leeway during the summer than I do in the winter because I'm a homeschool mom. Training for a marathon and running 2 YouTube channels. I am busy, but I find time for myself. I schedule everything as much as I can and I fit in what I can. And I look at my own schedule. Like I said earlier, I can't do long runs on Sundays. I just can't. I found a training plan that I liked that has you doing 4 runs a week, and that's doable for me. I had tried a training plan before that had me doing a 4-mile run followed by the very next day doing my long run. I couldn't do that training plan, so I changed it. And again, that's the great thing about plans. Even if you have to make your own, look at your personal schedule. Look 2 months in advance. Look at your life, and then from there, you can generate your own plan. Say you don't know where you should start out with miles. Well, look at what you've done already. And then what you could do is you could look at some training plans just as little guidelines. Look forward in the training plan to where you're at right now. And then you can draw yourself your own little map of about how many miles that you want to run. But honestly, with my time crunch and with as busy as I am, actually knowing that I have to homeschool and cook dinner and clean and do chores and edit and record and all of the stuff that I have to do, there's no way I could get out the door and be like, I'm gonna go running. I don't know how long I'm gonna run. I don't know how far I'm gonna run. I don't know any of this. I'm just gonna go run. That can't work for me. I have to have a schedule. And because I have been running for about a year now, I know roughly what time I'm gonna be done and what time I'm gonna be home because I know what I'm running. If I know that I'm running 4 miles and I know I'm running that 4 miles with my dog, then I know it's gonna take me about 45 minutes, that I'm gonna be gone for 45 minutes. Now, because I know my distance and I know my time for that day, a week in advance, I know where I can fit it in. I know when the sun goes down. I know when I homeschool my kids, when my husband goes to work, what time I have to pick him up. Like, I have my entire day scheduled, and I can fit that 45 minutes in there because I have a time and a distance to fit in, if that makes sense. You can also do it that way. You're making your own plan, and you're looking at the next week, and you know, oh my goodness, Monday, I've got maybe half an hour to get a run in. Okay, well, think about yourself. Think about your speed, your average pace, your average everything, okay? Say you have 30 minutes, factoring in your pace, your fitness level, the path you're choosing to run, because see, now you know 30 minutes, okay, I can get a 5K in there. Now you can plan where you're gonna go. You can pick a path that's gonna get you home as quick as possible, especially if you're gonna be in a hurry, and then you can get that 5K in and then get home. So then on that day, you now have, so say it's a Monday, right? Okay, so now you know that on Monday, you're gonna run a 5K. Sometimes I think it also helps to know how many total miles you wanna get done in a week. And you can look those up on plans too. You can literally Google it. You can be like, I need to get ready for a marathon that's happening in 13 weeks. This is the longest distance I can run so far. How should I increase my total week runs per week, or some crazy thing like that, right? It'll generate a number for you on how many total running hours you should be getting a week. And then factor that in. And you look at your week and go, okay, I need to be running 30 miles in total this week. I would take what you want to do for your long run, minus that out, figure out where you want to put your long run in your week, where you're going to have the most time. So say for you, Wednesdays are just the best time for a long run. Do your long run on a Wednesday, and then you can split up your other runs for your week. My point is that training plans are important. They help de-stress you. It's 14 weeks until my marathon, and my training plan has 13 weeks on it. So my plan was to run that 13 weeks and then give myself a week rest so that my body would be in tip-top shape for this marathon. And it helps knowing that I have got a training plan that says, yeah, you'll get there. Like, look, see, and you can look at the entire thing. If I run into a week where I'm just like, I can't do all of that, then I can mix it up. And I've had days where I've just gotten so busy with editing videos, and we've had a especially grueling, rough school day with the boys where it comes on 9 o'clock at night and I still haven't went on my run. So I'm calling up my husband and I'm like, hey, I'm heading to the gym and I'm running 5 miles on the treadmill. I did treadmill running twice the week before because my days had gotten so busy that by the time I found time to run, it was super dark. If you need to, get a gym membership somewhere that is open late, so that if by some chance you can't run during the day, all you have time for is in the evening, then you could run on the treadmill. I mean, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of running on the treadmill a lot. I don't think that gets you ready for outdoor races. However, when you're in a pinch, it's better than not running at all. But again, that's just my opinion. I hope this video helped you guys. If you have any questions or any other advice that you would have for other people, then just leave it down in the comments below. And you guys keep running and keep going. You guys got this. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.